Hi, everyone. Welcome to OWTV. It's me again today. I'm Renanthra, and with me I have Zay from Team Sakura. Zay, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing well, doing well. As far as I understand it, you are probably super busy doing collegiate stuff and OWCS stuff. Yeah, how's your day been?
Um, Pretty stressful. Most days are pretty stressful to be honest, but I manage.
Yeah, I'd imagine you have a lot going on right now. But I mean, just because I know who you are, I shouldn't presume the audience does. So, for anyone watching at home right now that doesn't really super know who you are, could you give yourself a brief introduction?
Yeah, sure. My name's Zay. I am the head coach for Sakura Esports in this current OWCS stage, and I'm also the head coach for St. Clair Saints, a collegiate team, and we were currently ranked number 6, I believe, on Okra.
On Okra, I hate that name. I don't know what. Like, it makes sense why we go with Okra. Like, but
The
yeah, it's like
OWCRA.
yeah. I mean, I can't help but think of like the like vegetable. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
I know what you're talking about.
it
Yeah.
is what it is. I am on that committee though, so if this interview goes well, maybe you'll a little higher than 6. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Zay, thank you again for making time and talking with me today.
Of course.
Yeah, as like you've been coaching for a hot minute now, and I kind of wanted to know your approach to the whole thing because every coach is different and every team operates differently. So for you, what do you think distinguishes your style of coaching?
I think my I guess flavor of coaching really comes down to my connection with my players. Um, I think I think my ability to really sit down with a player and kind of like figure out what makes them tick and why, like not even just as a player, but just as a person, right? Like I really put a lot of emphasis on the individual, and I try to nurture them into the best type of version that they can be, and I use them as a means to guide my coaching instead of the other way around. I think it works really well with players who have they have a lot of like the stuff figured out already, really good structure, really good self motivation, and I think like my coaching has been. I've thoroughly enjoyed coaching St. Clair and working with players like Juice, and then also Redix, Razor, Noxious, Soaks for their
Some
like the
ducks
past
there.
3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Many ducks there. um, Good thing you mentioned that too. Like even the Dilducks as well, because like they are a very vibes based team. They are a very energetic group of people, and I think like I work really well with those guys, especially like PDK and everyone, and like Baz, because I come in and I swoop right in and I fit. Um,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
the Ducks is known for the vibes for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're a vibes team. Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to describe the Ducks. But that's cool. So I mean, yeah, competing and coaching and working alongside all these people that are kind of on that same journey with you, like partly in collegiate, navigating what school is like, and just their time and how to allocate everything on top of OWCS is a lot of work. So it's good to know that there's some friendly rivalries there for sure, and some kindred
Yeah.
spirits. That's really nice. But yeah, how's it been kind of working with Sakura this year?
It's been awesome. It's been one of the best team environments I've ever worked with. I love all the players. Every scrim feels really refreshing. I can't make it all the time because I do have to balance collegiate and some of my classes as well. But every time I am there, I always ask them to send me the replays. I record, and I do everything I possibly can. And there's a lot of motivation. For me, I'm very environment and level of play motivated. Like when we're playing good, I just have limitless energy, and I think the players in soccer really bring the best in me in that regard.
Would you say you're a vibes based coach?
um I don't know. I
The
think
vibes matter.
they definitely matter. They definitely matter. I mean, if you're miserable, it's gonna affect everybody, right?
Yeah, especially when your coach is like angry. It's like, oh damn, coach is mad.
I think I'm a I don't know. I don't know if I would classify myself as that. Maybe I am.
That's something you have to dig into.
Yeah, yeah.
Later, when you're taking notes, and you're watching this VOD. Am I? Do I bring vibes?
I just have an identity crisis after. Yeah.
So like playoffs is on me. It's my fault.
No,
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, if anything, the vibes are on here. I love talking to you so far. We haven't even got to the match yet, so we should probably get there. I want to talk about Team Z. You guys ended up with a beautiful 3-0 win, which is really important given kind of, trying to make playoffs. And with this W, I think it's pretty safe to assume like you guys will participate. Fingers crossed, but I haven't done the exact math. But I think generally speaking, people are expecting you to. going into Team Z's game, and this is probably one of the ones that people kind of expect you to win. What were the expectations for you, and how did you prepare for Team Z?
I mean, the expectations for my players were really clear. I think like we all sat down and we were like, okay, we just need to play our way. Our match against Nightmare, definitely we like dropped the ball a little bit, and we were kind of a little hurt about that, especially like my players specifically, like individually, like they were very like upset about how they played individually. But we all kind of sat down. We promised to each other, hey, we're not going to put ourselves in that situation ever again. We're going to focus this week. We're going to put our heads down. And what I did is I took the entire week essentially, and I sat through every possible recording of Team Z I could. And I had one goal. I was like, I'm going to figure out how these players think. I'm going to figure out like what they're going to do no matter what like comp they play. So we had a strategy if they played ball, we had a strategy if they were going to play Monkey, if they played Ramatra, if they played Zarya, and they ended up taking more of like a ground take mirror, which was a little unorthodox compared to like Astronex's usual hero pool, but we were prepared for it. And even on Kings, right? Like as soon as they picked King, my brain was like, okay, me too, ban Monkey, get Monkey out of the equation, right? Keep Astronex on the ground, and we keep playing our game, we'll be fine.
Poor Astro being downloaded like that. Yeah, Team Z, from a previous interview we've done in the same week, yeah, we've actually learned that they don't have like coaches in that capacity. So it's like a little bit interesting. But yeah, Team Z is a team kind of known for leaning more into like double flex DPS and playing dive, that whole divey style. It's evident that you guys have done your homework on that. I'm imagining you with like a whiteboard behind you and just like all these permutations and all these diagrams.
That's you know, it's funny. I think that is exactly how I describe myself as a coach. Like, I actually figured it out. To your question earlier, I'm the coach that you put in a basement with a whiteboard, and I come out and I have like a blueprint. You
look insane.
Yeah,
You're the guy in the chair. Yeah,
yeah.
Like, I've been in there for 4 nights without sun or water, but I've figured it out. Everyone needs a team like
everyone tells me that like I overcomplicate things. You know, like I talk in riddles and stuff, and I'm like, you know what?
You can never be too prepared.
That's how it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a good quality to coach. Honestly, you know, like sometimes, especially in a high stakes environment, you can never be too prepared. I respect the hustle. But yeah, talking about preparedness, we saw some changes actually from you guys this week into like who's playing. So xten came onto the roster, played a lot more often now, and PDK is out. So kind of wanted to pick your brain on why the change.
Yeah, sure. I mean, PDK, we love PDK. I have a relationship with PDK that's awesome. I love working with him on Dildex. He was actually our manager for St. Clair as well. It's actually how he got introduced to the Dildex in the first place, actually. And he's a great player. And unfortunately, for a couple of our games, that he had a little bit of some scheduling conflicts that we had to bring Elian to fill, and we felt more comfortable putting Elian for the match because we were more prepared with her. As well, I think like the team already has like a lot of synergy. I don't like to use that word synergy, but like I really do think it's like the best like fit word. You know, like they have a lot of experience with Ellie. They kind of know how she plays, how she thinks. So when you're actually in the game, you know, you don't have to think about like, you know, like how to play the best for like PDK or how to make his aggressive swing, because Ellie specifically is really, really good at like pathing and making sure she's like very difficult to kill, right? So I think it worked really well with like our type of style and the way we wanted to play. So I think like for the people at home, you know, seeing that swap, you know, I think they're really like see like, especially in this meta, like a lot of it isn't just like mechanical skill or execution versus execution. It really comes down to like team fights and like ideas versus ideas, right? I was watching the Lethal interview and he mentioned something like that as well, and I absolutely agree. You know, and sometimes it really just is as simple as like, you know, some people just work together a little better and a little bit of a better fit in a specific like point in time. You know, obviously, moving forward, we're going to cook up a little bit of strategy, see if we can keep people on their toes. I think something that we did really well was, you know, is xten in or is PDK in? Who's going in, right? Like, I think that gave us a really good advantage, especially in our match against Extinction. So.
Yeah, I think you guys laid the groundwork there. And even if the intention wasn't necessarily to kind of create that extra benefit of who's in, who's out, that's a big pro to the situation for sure. And yeah, you don't like using the word synergy. I think, frankly, like the chemistry does matter though. Like having that extra layer of trust and knowing what your teammate's going to do, sometimes even before they do. And that matters a lot in a game as fast as Overwatch is. Like you don't have that extra time to really converse, like maybe in a slower paced MOBA genre game, but Overwatch is yeah, every second, truly every second matters. And if that's what's working, then now we know why xten is in. I love Carson. We have talked to Carson before. He's a really funny guy. I'm sure he'll get more playtime here and there.
He's hilarious.
You'll find a way. And yeah, so. Okay, great. So what I'm hearing is you guys went to the series. You knew what they played. You knew what you were going to play. You had contingency plans. You're like Batman. You're just everything's laid out. So let's go right into the maps now. Samoa came up. We see a Zarya mirror here. Did you expect this as well in your prep work coming into the match for how to kick things off?
I mean, we knew that they were starting to lean away from like the ball and the monkey comps. So we definitely like considered it, but it wasn't something that we actively were like, okay, Team Z is going to go Zarya on this map. We need to figure it out. We just in our preparation, we knew that's our best comp, that's our best style. And we played against, and we scrimmed against a lot of strong teams, and we were very confident on it. And our priority was mostly make sure we play our game. We prioritize the things that we need to prioritize in our game plan. And make sure that we're practicing some the issues that we have, and we should be good. We shouldn't have to worry about it too much, it was just kind of it for Samoa.
Nice. Okay, so another day at work, you're like, yeah, this is all according to plan. Coach vibes are up. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a mistake that Team Z was making in the entire series, to be honest, was their bans, because I mentioned. I was talking to someone else earlier, and I was talking about how Astronex's hero pool is really, really telegraphed. It's really easy to ban that team, kind of figure out what they're trying to do. The true is also it's also true for us, especially with Zeb. Zeb very very famous for his Orisa. Zamba his Tracer. So it's okay, so we know what teams have against us as our high value bans. Okay, so let's practice things and let's get really good at things that would be a logical counterplay. So when they banned Reaper immediately, I'm literally there. I'm just like, okay, whatever, right? Because we've been practicing our cast sim for a while, and we're very confident on it. Arguably more confident on that than our Reaper. So it's perfect.
Right? Yeah, in recent memory for sure. Yeah, so you're like, you've sprung my trap card. You're like, we expected you to ban exactly like this, and everything came into play. Good, very good job, Say. So going into Kings now, you guys are 1-0 in the series. Everything is as planned. We see more Zarya Reaper from you guys, and they've actually played some Ram here. So a little bit of stylistic changes. They play more hit scan, less Reaper and stuff too, more like Cass and Sojourn, of course. It was a very interesting decision. I want to kind of ask you, in your opinion, what's the most important thing to do well here and the difference in winning in this matchup?
I think the number one thing is pathing. A lot of the concepts that I go over with my players at Sakura is understanding the map, balancing the map and balancing aggro. The worst thing you can do with the Zarya comp that's limited in range is lose a part of the map that you have no counterplay over, right? So if you start pathing towards the hit scan, he flies away, he just slides away to Narnia, and now there's just a ram slow in your back line, and your Lucio just gets caught or something, right? It's just, well, what do I do now, right? So I think map staging 100%, and also understanding the cycle timings that you have, really understanding when you're able to walk and when you're not. I think Zeb does an excellent job of taking lead on that, making sure everyone knows, hey, when his timing is and when we can play off of it.
Yeah, I mean, Kings Row is one of those maps that's highly, highly studied. It's a fan favorite. It's been around for since Overwatch's inception, and I think that's the real litmus test for how organized the team is, how put together, how studied they are. So I mean, hearing the way you're talking about it, that was also it was on the board, surely somewhere in the corner. Kings Row, like this, just like that. And then going to Gib, that was probably the map where you guys had the most interesting result. I'm not gonna say you guys struggled, but it wasn't as one-sided as Samoa and Kings Row was. So yeah, I guess one of the tougher ones is fair to say. You guys start on Mauga of all things, and then when it doesn't go particularly well, you do switch over to D.Va and end the series there. Want to ask D.Va specifically, was this a planned swap or kind of a mid-match adjustment given that Mauga wasn't working?
It's kind of both. Zeb obviously is really, really strong on the ground tanks, and wherever I can make a ground tank work is where I would like him to play. But he's clearly very, very proficient at D.Va, and he has a very good game understanding of fundamentals and what he needs to do. And he played excellently in that series on D.Va as well. Especially on our attack, I think he played exceedingly well. But like going into it, like I had the idea of like, hey, like against Extinction, we tried this Maga comp, and I do think there's a lot of merit to running Maga actually on first point. I really think like some of the concepts that we've talked about but can really work there. And I said, okay, try first. If it doesn't work, let's just swap off, and kind of happened. We had a little bit of a momentum problem on second, but we caught it. We played our game. Then on our attack went pretty smooth sailing. We had a little bit of issues on third, but nothing that a few VOD or two can't fix.
Nice. Yeah, I think you guys ended up on like Diva on a Brig mirror for the most part across that map.
I believe so, and I believe they opted to Monkey afterwards as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys looked quite comfortable on that against Team Z. Should we be expecting more of this type of comp from you in the future? No leaks. I
mean, I think you said it yourself. No leaks.
Okay. All right. I mean, a little bit of a bait there. You don't fall for it. So you're too smart for that. But okay. All right. Good. I mean, yeah, convincing again. 3-0 series for you guys against Team Z. And you're going to need this confidence going into playoffs, playing against some of these heavy hitters. So want to pick your brain on kind of what the expectations are now that you're going into more consequential matches and the regular season has ended.
I mean, the expectations in terms of like what to expect. I mean, I expect my players to give like they're all in, especially like I'm going to continue to give my all in. Try the best that we can. Our goal, I think we've all collectively kind of agreed, is we want to punch up. We want to show that the top 4 teams, the partner teams, like you're not so slick. It doesn't matter like what your org name is. Doesn't matter who you're sponsored by or how many triple blocks you've done for so many years, right? If we have the right mindset, if we have the right passion, right attitude, like we can punch up.
Yeah, even Kings will bleed, and we saw last week like Extinction got notoriously close. 2-3 against Space Station. So
excellent series.
Yeah, there's
whatever Ray Linney did to get them to lock in that hard for that, like excellent job.
Yeah, I mean, like it shows that like you're a good day away from really like upsetting and kind of shattering these power rankings. And honestly, going into playoffs, there's going to be a lot of pressure to do exactly that. Even the top 4 teams will be more on guard because this is when the stakes are high for them also. I want to ask if preparation at this particular juncture is changed at all for you guys. Do you have things that you're going to do any different, or are you going into boot camp mode? Kind of what's the plan for preparing?
I mean, I think it'd be a disservice as a coach to, step into gear in playoffs and not give like your full effort the entire time. That said, there is a gigantic strategic advantage of getting through playoffs. And that's the fact that I have an entire regular season of like content to kind of like go through and sit through and kind of figure out, okay, they started. What were their issues then? Okay, what are their issues now? What's the timeline looking like? Okay, let me get in their heads a little bit. What would they want to do to us, right? So I think the real benefit is time. I have a lot of time to work with. And we're pretty unhappy with our performance against SSG and Nightmare. And those are the 2 that we're really looking forward to trying to upset, like especially Nenwai on Nightmare.
Okay. Why Nenwai?
So I was Nenwai's coach back in 2022 before either of us were like in tier 2 or anything, or where we are now. And I remember like me, Nenwai, my little brother, we were really close. We were really friends. But then, people fly away from the coop and then don't come back home, right? So I'm like, got to teach them a little lesson.
You should have stayed.
No, I love Nenwai. I love Nenwai.
Okay, nice. All right, so Nenwai, it's too late now. We're going to clickbait it. We're saying Nenwai is the villain, like.
Nenwai is the villain.
We have to kill Nenwai. This is the coaching strat. We got to tilt him. But yeah, that's cool to know like there's that history there. I always like seeing the connective tissue. It makes these matches so much more enticing, and the stakes feel realistic that way. But yeah, like this is obviously the last week of season 18. Wooyoung is old news. We're gonna get a new balance patch, celebrating Halloween and all the spooky stuff. But nothing scarier than another big patch right before playoffs, I'm sure, as a coach. So wanted to pick your brain. Are there things that you're anticipating seeing or want to see for the patch? What would do your team some good? What would hurt some other teams?
I think Wooyoung nerfs is going to hurt a lot of teams, especially because there's some teams that have like really opted into like.
Just say UV. Just say Vega. Just there's names here.
I mean the very top teams like the GK Esports, the Team Liquids, right? Like they have an arsenal of comps that they've played over the years, So like like I'm sure that if something happens, like they'll pick themselves back up. But I'm talking more about like Extinction, Team Z.
Oh.
I think to an extent Nightmare. I think Nightmare is actually a team that's like very patch heavy. I think like if Wu Yang gets nerfed, I think they're going to be scrambling a little bit, and if Diva or Zarya get nerfed, they're going to be scrambling a little bit. So I don't know, maybe maybe a little wishful thinking, but maybe a little bit of a like a deep insight. I don't know. I do think that like my team specifically, we want to make sure all the ground heavy like raw style is as strong as possible. Obviously, we want Tracer to stay strong. We want Kyrie to stay strong. And I'm really hoping that they don't do anything too drastic to like what we're like playing mostly. But you never really know, and no matter what it is, you can't really like whine about it. Except just commit and just do it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the meta is like in a pretty decent spot. It's not like the most diverse thing, but it's like it's not stagnant either. There's a lot of different looks for teams, and you can play a lot of different things depending on the map. I am cautiously optimistic that we'll see reasonable shakeups for playoffs and nothing like super crazy, like nothing meta is like completely gutted or unviable anymore.
I would love to see Hazard Genji come back. Those are my two favorite heroes to coach and to play.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Yeah. I mean, when I was like a player, when I was like a tier 3 player, like top order player, I just loved playing Genji. I was just like Genji OTV. I was a flex DPS player, like flex DPS player. I just play Genji.
Flex DPS. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I can flex the Genji.
I remember like I was on the team with Avery back in the day. Avery, I believe she mostly plays in Calling All Heroes now, but there was some Bellevue.
Bellevue, that's what it was. I was like, they're Legion. I never remember. Okay.
Yeah. And like it was really good times. And Hazard, I just think that character is just really cool. Like I really like, I don't know, like
speaks to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Hazard is like Genji, Doomfist, Winston, Reaper, put together. Just so really fun.
Yeah, but he's a block slop character.
Yeah, whatever.
You're like, well, the parts of him
I'm
block slop are
definitely
cool.
biased. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Hazard's cool too.
But I also like really, I really do like coaching like Hazard comps because I do think a lot of it comes down to execution. And I think execution, like compositions, I think, in my opinion, are the best form of Overwatch. Where if your macro is contingent on certain executions, and thus your team play is also contingent on those executions and the team play required to make them happen. I think that's just like the ultimate form of Overwatch. I think to an extent people like hate on the Maga metas a little bit. Like I remember Maga Echo Reaper. I think there was a lot of execution in that meta that people didn't think about, but it is what it is. There's probably other coaches right now probably calling me an idiot. It's like whatever.
I see like glimpses of I like goats in you. And I don't know.
I mean, I played in goats.
Yeah, I don't know, Zay. The interview's going down. The Okra rating's gonna drop a little bit here. No, but I appreciate the honesty and yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, obviously, that the playoff patch goes well and swings in your favor. Always a bit of luck involved. As a coach, you're there to prepare as much as you can, but at the end of the day, the devs really, they're the ones that turn the dial the hardest.
I mean, if they hate us, they hate us. What can we do?
Yeah, I mean, you can always slide Blizzard to 20. You can it's like just keep the ground tank strong, just for a month. But yeah, I mean, obviously going into playoffs, the dreams of trying to topple a Big Four team, and those are going to be the focus, and everyone has eyes on you right now. For anyone that's watching and kind of wants to cheer you guys on as that underdog, like I do, I've really taken a liking to you and the team after this talk. You have a message for fans of yourself and Sakura into these next couple weeks?
The only thing that I can really say, is whoever you choose to cheer for, they better have like some sort of connection to you and like what you want to be, or represent. Like I remember, like I was a big Smash Brothers guy. I remember watching like my favorite like esports players, like Music King and stuff. They had stories behind them. And I think the story for Sakura is that if you have ever wanted to like push yourself and accomplish something and reach a goal, and like you've never really gotten the best opportunities, or maybe things haven't gone your way. But you have that spirit and you're getting there and you're close. Like, I think like that's kind of like the theme for Sakura, and like that's kind of like the connection that we want to have with our fans, and that's the connection that I want to have with my fans and my players as well. Is if you can relate to that, then cheer us on, because that's why we're doing this.
That's so wholesome. I love it. I mean, like I think at the end of the day, a lot of people watching OWCS, especially with just the format and things like that. You're on a busy schedule. You're not going to get to talk to every single player, every single coach on these teams, and kind of know what they're about. So that's why we do the OWTV stuff, to give you guys an opportunity to kind of get yourself a little bit exposed out there for people to know and cheer. So if anyone watching this wasn't already a fan of Sakura, rewatch what Zay said the last 30 seconds. Replay that 3 or 4 times. I'm sure you'll be converted like I was. But
you're too kind, thank you.
no, you guys are too kind. I mean, I need to see some just ultra violence going into the playoffs. You need to see you guys upset some teams. But Zay, I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me. This has been a fantastic conversation. If people aren't already following you, you can find his information in the overlay. If you aren't already following Sakura, you can find it there too. And while you're on Twitter, drop me a follow, and OWTV as well. We'd really appreciate it. So everyone watching, thank you so much. Zay, thanks again for taking the time once more. And yeah, we'll see you next time.